Hi guys, haven't done one of these videos in a while, but we're going to try to catch you guys up some. We have been crazy busy. I'm watching a hawk to make sure it stays away from our chickens. My wife, as you guys know, some of you have seen some of these videos, is pregnant, and we went ahead and had our baby. Everything went well. Thank you guys for any of you that was praying, but she did get put on bed rest. With her being on bed rest and all the hard work that she does, I was not able to do videos as well. She works so hard and does so much around here. She does all of our canning pretty well. She makes jams and jellies and soaps and salves, and she picks all the wild edibles and the herbs, and she knows all about that stuff. And we still were trying to live as much as that lifestyle as we could with her on bed rest. She also does all of the laundry, the dishes, the cooking, the cleaning. She takes care of our 3-year-old, makes sure she gets naps and fed, and all of the stuff that a mama does. And so I had to step up on all of those. My wife was supposed to be in bed 9 hours a day all together with about an hour break. She had to be 3 hours. Sorry about that, guys, we're outside. She had to be 3 hours at a time with 1 hour breaks in between, so 3 times a day. So that had to be 9 hours worth of bedtime. And so we tried to stick to it to the best we could, but it was very hard, right? And she was not able to do most of the things that she typically does, and so I had to pick up the slack. And at the same time, my stepdad got put on hospice care, and we had to go over there and help with some of that the best that we could. Now, there come a time whenever we had to go have our baby, and we had to leave our family that was trying to take care of my mom and stepdad and try to help them through all of that time and through the hospice care, and go have the baby. In fact, in about a 24-hour period, we lost my stepdad and gained our little baby girl. And so roller coaster of emotions for sure. But our family, man, they all stepped up. We had so many other family members there at my mom's trying to help out. And then, of course, having the baby right now through all the COVID madness, we couldn't let nobody else in there anyway. And so my wife's mom, mother-in-law, she watched our oldest daughter, Luella, and we had to really lean on some help. And so I'm going to title this video, You Cannot Be Self-Reliant Yourself, right? I had to have some friends of ours that are really good come and feed and water our animals. Guys, you can't do this yourself. So even my wife being down, right, and still doing, she likes to knit. She's gonna put out some knitting videos too. She likes to knit, and man, she was knitting dishcloths and selling them like hotcakes the whole time she was on bed rest, because she just wanted to help, right? She wanted to be a part of that. She's a worker bee, and so not letting her work. Sorry guys, I'm really trying to watch these hawks. We got a couple of them flying around here. And my new chicken coop is not quite done, and my old one is not hawk proof. My daughter, man, she had to step up and help. She's been helping hang clothes, and she comes and helps me feed the critters, we call them, every morning, water and food and all that. She likes the garden. I had no idea how much she would like the garden. She loves it. In fact, I call that her garden. Guys, you can't do this yourself, right? My wife, she works so hard around here, and for her to go down like she had to be on bed rest, she was having some complications that the bed rest helped, and so for her to go down like she did, man, it was tough. It was hard. And now we have a newborn, right? And it's still hard, and she still isn't able to do a whole lot, but she's doing a lot more than she did, but still not able to do a whole lot. And we still are going to have help now, right? We're still going to have help from our family and from our friends. We're still going to have to work together. There'll be lots of late nights and early mornings, right? Lots of sleepless nights with the newborn. That's just how it goes. With me pastoring full-time and dedicating lots and lots of time to prayer and to study and to being there for people when they want to talk, and making sure that I'm there for folks that need me to be there for them to the best of my ability. and helping the church, and we even held a revival through all this madness and all the craziness. And we had to have my mom and my wife's mom. They rotated in and out, staying with my wife while I was going and preaching revival, and it was a fantastic revival. We had a fantastic time. I'm thankful that we did it. We had a great time. We've seen the power of the Lord fall in that place, which was amazing. And so that, guys, is just a little snippet of what it is like trying to live this lifestyle, right? It's work. It's not the easy life. It's enjoyable. It's fun. It's a good kind of work. It's work I enjoy. However, man, you can't do this yourself. Don't try to do it yourself. Have people surround you, and surround yourself with people that want to be there for you and want to help you, and people you're willing to help, right? Man, through all this madness, all the COVID madness, if we would learn to work together as a community, we would not be in the mess that we're in, right? You wouldn't have to wear a mask to go to Walmart if you knew your neighbors well enough and they were working and doing, and you know, if they had milk and you had rabbit meat and you could do some trading around, you wouldn't have to wear your mask to go to Walmart, right? You could just work together with one another and make it work, and both of you would be more profitable. If we learn anything from this, I think we need to learn a couple of things. We need to learn that our world can change on a dime. Therefore, we better be close to the Lord, because that's the only thing steady in this life. And I think we need to learn how to work once again with our neighbors and our family, and spend more time in gardens, and more time breaking beans, and more time canning, and more time messing with animals and helping folks out, and less time behind the TV or computer screen, which is kind of ironic because I'm making a video, I know. But guys, we do these videos because we want people to learn how to do this if they desire to, right? And that they have the capability to if they ever needed to. So we're going to take you for a little tour. While we didn't do videos because we were so busy, man, we do just tried to keep cranking out the stuff that we know we need to get done. We had to change our plans a little bit through the COVID stuff, and so we did. And so I'm going to take you for a tour and show you guys around. Buckle up, Buttercup. Let's do some looking around, guys. All right, so it's there's our garden from far away. We'll go take a look at it. There's my wood stack that needs some work for sure. Down off over here, way down off in that corner down there, is the rabbit hutch and the chicken coop and the solar powered clothes dryer, otherwise known as a clothesline. We'll do some tours and talk about some of this stuff today, guys. I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. I may change some things, so kind of be on the lookout for that channel wise, to try to help out the best that we can. Let's go looking. All right, so this is our garden. Now, quick story about the garden. It's the corn patch over there with some excess tomatoes and peppers in it. Let's talk about this garden for a minute. This garden was not going to happen this year. Garden was not in the plans for this year. However, with all of the COVID madness going on, I was a senior in high school whenever the market crashed in 2008. And in 2010, I was looking for a job in a jobless market, right? It is not fun, not a good time. And so seeing all of that and seeing the way the world was reacting to COVID-19, I told my wife, let's go ahead and plant a garden and do the things that we can while continuing to, sorry guys, our house is really close to this road, and so lots of road noise here. We are just barely outside the city limits. Our little pre-stead, we call it, is just barely outside the city limits. But anyway, we planted this garden because we both growed up gardening, canning, eating vegetables out of gardens, those kinds of things, and we like to can. My wife loves to can our vegetables. My daughter, I have found out, absolutely loves working in this thing. She likes pulling weeds and planting seeds and picking vegetables, and she just loves all of it. But like I said, my wife got put on bed rest. My stepdad was really sick. I was trying to pastor full time still trying to make videos for that because our church was not even in, we weren't even in church there for a few weeks, and so I was trying to make videos to keep up. And so our garden got away from us. So you guys want to hear the brutal truth? I'll tell you the brutal truth. My wife got put on bed rest, and I found some days early in the spring. The weather was beautiful, and I got my mom to come over and help with my wife and my 3-year-old, and I planted our entire garden just about, knowing that we had at least one more opportunity for a frost, but it wasn't supposed to get that cold. Like 30 degrees, 32 degrees, and I thought to myself, I said, me seeds will be in the dirt, nice and warm, and so let's go ahead and plant the garden. And I planted it, and it got down to like 22 or 25 or something like that, and a bunch of my stuff froze. Our mulberry trees froze, our mulberries froze. We didn't get any mulberries this year, which we typically do, and we make a delicious mulberry jam, and we actually use that mulberry jam for trading. We'll trade for chickens and rabbits and supplies and those kinds of things, and we weren't able to do that this year. One, because of no mulberries, and two, I'm gonna be honest with you, with my wife being on bed rest, I don't think I could have made mulberry jam, and I know she wasn't supposed to, and she probably would have tried, so it was probably a blessing actually from the Lord. So I want you to get real judgmental for a minute. That's okay. I don't know if you can tell or not. This right here is ground that I tilled fervently. I got it back to dirt, and then this grass that looks like it's growing is actually weeds that I pulled out of my rows. Now this is a row of carrots that you see right along here, and still some weeds in it, but this in the middle is actually uprooted weed that was in our row of carrots. This over here was just some early spring stuff that really didn't do very good. Our onions, I don't know if you can see those tires over there. I don't know what happened to them. Them things like literally disappeared on us one night. We just had all kinds of onion tops, and the onions were growing, and I was growing them in some hay. And I came out one day and I was like, man, our onion tops are gone. What's the deal? And I got to looking, and the bulb and everything, there was like a they were like golf ball size at the time, and they just up and disappeared. But anyway, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if a critter came through. I don't know if somebody stole them. Why would they just steal the onions and not, whatever else was growing at the time? I don't get it. That really tall weed that you see right there, that is something I am saving back because it's a wild edible, but it's also a wild medicine that we are letting grow. And I'm going to try to dehydrate it and see if it works like they say it will. And that down below them, right in there, that stuff is potato tops. As one of our friendly neighbors honking his horn there, those are potato tops, and so our potatoes ought to be coming up. I tried a new way, growing them in the hay, not in tires, not in piles, nothing. We're gonna walk around a little bit and look at this garden. This is our zucchini, once again growing here, planted way too thick, way too dense. However, it is working. It's working quite well. We're getting all kinds of zucchini growing. There's one hiding right down in here. Let's see if we can maybe show you guys. It needs to be picked. Something fierce. There it is right there. We'll get out here and get it picked up. As we keep going here, we grew some turnips that were right here. I went ahead and pulled them and plowed them in under. Turnips is a delicious garden vegetable to grow. You can fry them like potatoes, roast them, they're delicious. It almost tastes like a sweet potato whenever they're done cooking. You can eat them raw too. They kind of got a radish flavor. These are our beet tops. Once again, right, weeds have taken over, and I am trying to take our garden back over. These are some of our tomato plants that were actually purchased by a family member of ours, and I put in the ground, and we will share our tomatoes with our family, not just the ones that bought it, but the other ones as well that we have that work with us and help us. These cages, look at these cattle panels, crooked as a question mark they are, and you may ask yourself why. Well, we used to grow our cucumbers in arches, and these were arches that we used to grow them. However, I'm not growing them like that anymore, but our cattle panels are still in crooked arches. Now, you have an option at this point in your life. You can either go buy new straight cattle panels, or you live with crooked cattle panels. So I chose to live with crooked cattle panels, but it works, right? Tomatoes are growing up them. We need to do some more tying. It looks like they are growing very quickly. This garden got a year off last year, and I don't know if that's what's going on, but it is just growing amazing for us now. I thank the good Lord for his blessing. That would be the tiller that has got a massive amount of work as of lately. These are our pepper plants that are growing here, getting some nice bell peppers, jalapeno peppers, banana peppers. There's some habaneros growing. There's some cayennes growing down there at the end. Delicious, tasty, if you like spicy food like I do. Delicious, tasty stuff. Now here's our cucumbers, once again with some crooked panels that we've got working up the panels. And I already see some cucumbers that need picking too, and my wife is making some delicious pickles for us out of those, and then we just like to eat them with our dinner. Here's what the garden did look like. You see this? See all these weeds? That's what it looked like last week, and so we've been working trying to straighten it all out, but we'll get it. Just keep working at it the best that we can, and trusting in the good Lord to help us out and to let this garden grow. This is a row of cucumbers that has not got any T-post or paneling yet. I actually ran out of panels, and so I'll have to use something else for them to grow up on. These are our green beans, and they look terrible. Once again, weeds, right? So I've been working trying to get the weeds out, and you can see once again, right, all that in the middle is weeds I've pulled out of the rows. But these green beans have been hit hard by. We got a big supply, a mass supply of wild rabbits around here, and I'm having trouble keeping them out of the garden. However, there is a meat supply issue, or has been a meat supply issue, and an issue with rabbits eating my garden. So I think we can solve two issues with that if we do it right. By the way, it's legal to kill them if they are eating your vegetables, and so we may do so. These, oh man, these rows here is where somebody that collects wild edibles and somebody that grows a garden has issues. So there are pea plants growing in here, and the weeds have taken over. I'm going to try to weed them out, but I want you to look at this right here. Take a look at this stuff. This right here is called lamb's quarter. It's got some of that. It's kind of frosty looking. It's a wax stuff that washes off of them. It's natural to the plant, and that is some of the best tasting wild greens that there is. Man, you can boil or cook that down. A little vinegar, a little bit of garlic is delicious stuff. So let's keep looking. This is our okra rows growing here. This stuff will grow big. It loves the heat that we've been having, so it'll go berserk, which is good. I don't know if you can see it. These are some late turnips that we did that are drying up and probably need to be pulled along with the weeds that we have. Here's our watermelon and cantaloupe patch that also needs work, right? You can't even hardly tell the difference between the watermelon, cantaloupe, and the weeds, but it's growing. It's something we're working on. It will come along. Here is our latest patch. These are seedlings that I bought. I bought the seeds when everything went crazy because I was worried people would buy plants up so fast that we wouldn't be able to get any. And so I bought a bunch of seeds. And so there's some pepper plants in here, and there's tomato plants. Now these tomatoes, they won't make until the fall, until later in the year. So one of those bigger tomatoes down the way over in, let me get it right over in there, when they quit working, putting out tomatoes, these should still be putting on tomatoes, which will be good for us. Make lots of salsa and delicious tasty treats. Canned tomatoes, we love macaroni and tomatoes for lunch, that kind of stuff. Here is our corn. Look how pitiful that stuff looks, right? I have never grown much corn. Don't really know what I'm doing. I just kind of winged it, and I apparently did not do it right. Whatever it is you were supposed to do, I did not do properly. So next year we will try to do something a little different, try to do it better. It's growing. We're going to get some corn off of it, but we're not going to get a ton. But that's okay, right? That's how you learn. This is a new area. There was a big elm tree here that you can kind of see there. and we were able to take that elm tree down limb by limb, but it's just not doing its thing. But we'll work on it. We'll get it there. You see some chain link over there I've done some trading for to try to get things situated around here. So now let's go look at the newest project that we are building. Alright guys, here is the newest little project. And you ask yourself, what in the world? This looks like a bunch of lumber put together. This is going to be a chicken tractor. We want to have something we can pull around the yard to get the chickens on fresh grass that we don't have to worry about dogs and coons and stuff to the best of our ability. This is the hawk proofing. As you can see, good old chicken wire up there, and I'm going to wrap that chain link around the outside. Our plan is eventually to have several of these about this size. I want to try to raise some specific breeds of chickens. I think it's wise during this time to raise chickens that are both meat and egg producers. You may not get the best egg production, you may not get the best meat production. However, you will get the best overall bird when it's said and done. And I want to raise some some particular breed specific chickens, right? And so I want to raise some certain ones, Orpingtons and Rhode Island Reds, and some different ones, several different ones, actually about 5 or so different birds. And I would like to have it where we can keep them separated in these little chicken tractors that we're building. And we can incubate. I got an old refrigerator I'm going to try to build an egg incubator out of. And we'll be able to incubate the eggs and then sell them to people that want to raise chickens themselves and to keep ourselves, right? So you guys know that chickens are not very productive for a long time. You have to replace your flock, and so that's going to be part of this program. We can put several chickens in here. This thing is, I think, 16 foot long, 14 foot, I think it's 14 foot. 14 foot long by 6 foot wide. That's how much grass they're going to be on every single day. And so I can move this every single day, and they will get a ton of grass. They'll have plenty of room to move around, and they will have a big, nice coop to get into. As you can see it, it's got a chicken wire floor in it to keep ventilation and to keep it clean. It's got some vents in it. It's got a nice nesting box. We'll show you the nesting box. Never mind the old trusty rusty there. We'll get it. I need to jump it actually. Here's the nesting boxes that we have built on the back end of this thing. This is some old tin that actually some friends of ours was cleaning out a shop and give us. And so we're trying to put it to work, trying to honor that blessing by putting it to work and not wasting it, right? So this has been one of the projects, right? And so my wife being on bed rest and everything that we were trying to keep up with, this is how I would work on this thing, man. I would come out here like, I don't know, I might have an hour to work on something like this, and I would just come out here and just spend an hour on it, right? Maybe 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours sometimes, just depending on what kind of time frame we had. My daughter, she'd come out here and play around while I worked on it, our oldest daughter. And so just always doing something, right? If you're constantly working and you're constantly doing something, you're bound to get stuff done, right? And so I would get an hour or two. I would pull up some either my Bible app and listen to it, or some sort of scriptural teaching, and that is kind of how I like to unwind, which is kind of a twisted way, I guess, to unwind, but it's good for me, right? So I'd get out and I'd piddle around with something like this, and I'll listen to that stuff, pray, I'll talk to God, preach my sermons that I'm going to preach out here to myself, and all of that stuff, right? And so this is part of how I operate anyway, and so it's been good for us just to get in and work. And so this thing will be in operation pretty soon. We traded for these for this lumber that you see, and this chicken wire was either chicken wire we had already or chicken we had some given to us by some other family. They just had some extra and said, hey, could you use it? And we said, you bet. We'll put it to work. And so we did. I even have some more tin to give to us by some other friends of ours that just had some extra tin. I'm thinking just when they bought a house, and I'm thinking just when they moved in, there it was, and they said, hey, can you use this? And we were like, hey, you bet, we'll put it to work. And so we've got all kinds of building that I need to be doing. I need to build some more rabbit hutches. My daughter made her first rabbit purchase, which is the next thing we will go look at. Let's go look at the rabbits, guys. rabbits. Let's talk about these guys for a minute. So here's Butch. Butch, he's our meat mix. He's a good breed rabbit. We keep him around. He's a good guy. Very, very nice. Here is the one that my daughter bought. My daughter had a birthday, and she wanted to spend, she got some cash, and we said, what do you want to spend your cash on, sissy? And she said a rabbit. And so we want to eventually raise these type of rabbits. These are Rex, standard Rex rabbits, meat rabbits, and that's the kind of rabbits we want to raise. And so we have a standard Rex female now and a standard Rex male. We still got some couple of New Zealand females as well. So we kind of are getting started on that. Their cages are a mess. I need to do some work on them as well. Rex, this one's actually, we named him Jack, her rabbit that she bought. And they're just hanging out. It's hot. They're just eating and trying to rest in the shade as much as they can. Here is Big Red's little buns, if you can see them. They're running away from me here. Little bitty guys. They were not all that old, and we will keep trying to breed them. That one there is real pretty though. Got real pretty color on it. Of course, the white with the red eyes. These will all go to somebody's freezer. More than likely, all of these will. We'll only start saving back our Rexes and try to diversify by getting some more males. But I need to build some more hutches before we did that. And I actually have a guy that's wanting to trade for some hutches that I need to get back a hold of. Guy, if he watches these YouTube videos, he's going to think I've put him on the back burner, and I haven't. We've just been so busy, I haven't done it. So there's you guys, the cuteness for the day. Let's go over here. We will look. That's Big Red though. That's Mama. This one here we call Scarface. There she is. Say hi, everybody out there. Little rabbit nose for you guys today. We call her Scarface not because she has a scar, but she's got a black stripe of fur across her face, kind of looks like a scar, and so we call her Scarface. And she is bred and should be having babies in a few weeks, and so we will get that done. All this grass that's in here, I just shoved in here this morning for them to eat. Now, this is our other one. So we need to move these rabbits into the grow out hutch. The problem is I ordered some watering pieces from Amazon, and we have not been able to get them in. They ain't came in yet, and so they are actually way too big for this little hutch, but we are having to make it work right now because I can't water them if I move them to the grow out hutch unless I buy some other materials, and I hate to do that because I've already paid for the ones that we are waiting on. Hopefully they'll get here soon, but this is Aunt Jemima and her babies. Once again, all will be butchered except for Aunt Jemima, and we will breed her back and get these babies in the freezer, my dad's freezer. Dad's already spoke up for some of these guys. So this is our watering system here, our bucket with a lid on it, clear tubing runs across the back of it to some nipples that they drink out of. Works pretty well for us. This is built to be movable as well. I need to move it as we get the chicken coop moving. I'm actually going to scoop up this rabbit poop and put it on the garden, and I will take this hutch and move it around, and the chickens will go and spread the poop around for us all in good time. So you guys want to go look at the chickens now, and we'll talk about them some. I know you guys have seen them before. Alright guys, here's our birds. As you can tell, we have the fishing string up there. It is being destroyed. I don't know what happened. I don't know if some hawks tried to dive bomb our birds. But I'm so close to getting the other one done that I'm just not going to fix it, and I'm going to move these birds over. And this will eventually, if you can see, these poles here are set. I dug down 3 foot deep or so and buried them. So this will eventually become some other pen, maybe pigs, maybe little pigs, something. We'll do something with this eventually, but it will no longer be a chicken run. And the coop that I have built, I've already started scabbing boards onto so that I can eventually take it off the stump that it is nailed to down under there, and it will become a mobile chicken tractor, much like the one we've already built, and we should have 2 of them pretty quick. Like, we've already got the eggs this morning, so I won't show you guys that. There's some of our feed. I usually put it in that PVC pipe, but I had extra in my bucket, so I just dumped it out into that pail that we usually keep their grit and shell in, but let them eat at that. That's kind of a homemade mix. I changed up our feed, and I did a homemade mix the first time, And they ate it decent, but their egg production dropped way off. I don't know what I did wrong. Should have been plenty of protein. That shouldn't have been the issue, but I don't know what the issue was. So I went back to feeding just the regular egg pellet with some other some of the same mixed stuff, but with egg pellet and some different stuff in it as well. We'll see how it does. Also, over here, this is something I wanted to show you guys. This is one of our mulberry trees that did not put on mulberries this year because it got too cold and killed all of our mulberries. This is a weedy mess. I told you guys, man, our garden, our yard, it all got away from us. See these logs here? This was the bottom half of the rabbit hutch. The rabbit hutch was set here. Our rabbits and chickens right next to each other. It was a good life. We liked it. The problem is we had a big storm come through and it lifted our rabbit hutch up off the ground and twisted it and slammed it back down and broke the legs off. And so it took off like a big giant airplane. And so I had to redo some stuff. And so we redid it in the middle of a rainstorm, but it worked out. I guess in our chicken feed, one of our feeds, we had some Milo and some corn that has sprouted here. Now, never wanting to lose advantage of a situation, best that we can, I'm just letting it grow. And whatever fruit it produces, I see the Milo starting to head out, I will toss it over into the chicken coop and let them eat it, right? Because it's not worth wasting that. If it's going to grow, let it grow and we'll just feed it back to them. That's the kind of mindset that we're going to have to change, right? We don't need these perfectly manicured yards. What we need is yards that we can use, right? And so this is a prime example. I don't know if you can see this weed here. So some of you are going to freak out when I say this, right? But this is wild lettuce, not the kind of wild lettuce that you're thinking of. This is a plant related to the dandelion. And what we are doing is letting it grow, and it's grown now. And I will go through and pluck these leaves off and dehydrate them and make it tea. And it is supposed to be excellent for arthritis pain and those types of things. It's prickly. It's got little needles on the back side of it, so I'm being really gentle. And this here is an unsightly weed, right? I can go through and weed eat it down, or I can weed eat around it and let it grow and use it for what the good Lord put it here for. Those are the types of things that we need to change our mindset on. I've got some more underneath our porch there, which looks like a weedy mess, but it is a bunch of that wild lettuce we were letting grow. Once again, I don't have any clothes hanging up because it's supposed to rain some more. But this here, solar powered laundry right here at its finest, right? This thing got bent over during a rainstorm a couple years ago. And I still need to fix it, I guess, but it works. It does our thing. I left our rabbit feed out, so I need to go get it. Guys, I'm showing you this because I want you to know. If you're watching some of these videos and you're like, everything they do is just perfect and straight and not weedy and doesn't look bad and all that, and I just don't know if I can keep up, and what if it does start to look bad, and what if it starts to grow, and what if I can't keep up? Listen, those times are going to come. Those times are going to happen. And so I'm showing you this video in part so that you understand that this is part of it, right? This is part of the process. We'll talk about a couple other things. I'll try to remember to get the rabbit feed picked up here. This is a grow out pen that I built, and at the time we had a real broody hen, and so I put a nesting box in there, tried to get her to hatch some eggs, and guess what? It didn't work. No, it didn't work at all. But it will work good for growing out the rabbits. That's what this pin is for. That's the lid I swung up on it. But I got the pin built, and I had ordered the parts for the water, and they still are not in yet. And I want to show you, we have some blackberries growing, and I need to be out here picking them probably rather than doing this video. But here, this has been a good year for our blackberries. Look at these things. You guys see that? Look at that. Look at that. They are good right off of the vine. Yep. Really, really good. Really, really sweet. Super delicious. I'm going to tell a little bit on myself. I even like the ones like this right here. They're really sour, but I like sour stuff. These would be excellent in jelly, jams, excellent in a pie, excellent for a snack while you're videotaping a YouTube video. Very rude to eat. You guys had to hear my chomping, and I'm sorry. Look at them things. Delicious, tasty things. We will take advantage of these. We will get after it. Even if we got to freeze them, and my wife can't make jelly right now, that's okay. We will get them froze up, and she can make some jelly out of it later. So guys, this I want you to know. You can't do it yourself. You need help. It's okay if your weeds overtake your garden from time to time. It's okay if you have to work extra hard to take control of your garden again. It's okay if you have to work extra hard to take control of your yard again. Things happen, and it's okay. It's all right. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're lazy. It doesn't mean that you're unwilling to take care of things. It just means it's life, guys. And you know what you do? You pick yourself up. You get back to work. You spend multiple hours in prayer, thanking the Lord for what He has provided, thanking the Lord for the ability to work, thanking the Lord for the ability to get out and do the things that you need to do. You be willing to help those around you. Be willing to stop and eat a blackberry every once in a while. And thank the good Lord for the opportunity. Because the truth of the matter is, because it may be extra work, because it may be hard, because it may not always be perfect, because is all kinds of good reasons not to live life, not to enjoy life. But it's also all kinds of good reasons to be miserable, stuck behind a computer screen, stuck behind a TV screen. Or you could enjoy life and make mistakes. It's alright, guys. It's okay. Alright, guys. Till our next video. We'll see you guys later.